Okay, come. So today, right, we are doing a little bit about P6 topic lah. All right, but again, P6 topic is not really purely P6 topic. All right. So when we say P6 topic, right, P5 things will be tested also. All right. So P5 and P6 they are actually lumped together. So you need to be very good in your P5 topics in order to perform very good in your P6. Can? So today, right, our objective is to do a little bit of something called conversion. All right, so this is like a refresh of P5 topic. All right, conversion. Conversion between the what? The big four. Who are the big four? Fraction, decimal, ratio, and percentage. When you are able to see the link between these four, I tell you, right, you'll be very, very strong in your primary 6. Right, because it's all the same thing. It's just they are presented differently. So they are all the same. You just need to know the conversion, and that will be very helpful to you. All right. And after that, after the conversion, we'll go into something called algebraic expression. So the last lesson, right? The last lesson we talked about something called algebra. All right. I teach you how to write the alphabet A. I taught you how to do the simplification. All right. Simplification means bring the same family members together. All right. I teach you how to present. All right. I didn't teach you how to present. Sorry. Yeah. I teach you a little bit on how to present the information. All right. Remember the secret coding thing? All right, so it's important for you to come for the lessons weekly lah, so that you will not miss out anything. Can? Okay, come, let's take a look at today's teaching. Okay, so if you can, bring out your exercise book, right? The exercise book where the class awesome is written. All right, so this class is class awesome. So can you please take out the exercise book? So for Ting, usually I call them to prepare a A4 exercise book, jotter book, all right, with single lines inside, so that all the important notes, all the important things you can actually put it in. All right. All right. So down here, right? Down here, turn to a fresh page. Turn to a fresh page inside your exercise book. All right. And give it a heading. All right. Oh yes, who is this? Shinik. Who is Shinik? All right. Turn to a fresh page inside your exercise book and give this as the heading. We call this the Big Four. We call this the Big Four conversion. All right, so turn into your exercise book, a fresh page, all right, and you call this the Big Four conversion. All right, let's start off with this first, then later we go into a little bit of algebra. Ken? Hello, Shinik. All right, can you please take out your exercise book? All right, the one that I told you to prepare. And these are some of the notes that you can actually write it in. Ken? So as I was telling the class just now, we are doing a little bit of something called conversion today, and also something called what? Algebraic expression. Okay, come. So with that, right, let me just try to draw a box first. All right, let me try to draw a nice box out first. Okay. So this will be the heading. And this will be four rows. All right, so with your single line booklet, right, you have all these lines in front of you. So it's easier for you to draw the lines. All right. So I need about 5 rows. The first row is the heading, followed by 4 examples here. All right, give it a little bit of space so that it will not be squeezy. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, the first row can be a little bit thinner. All right, that's the heading. All right, then we can have about 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 columns. Okay, so I'm drawing a table. This is considered a table. All right, so a table is useful to present information like this. Okay, nice. Not bad, huh? All right. Of course, I'm using a ruler, lah. If not, I cannot draw nicely. All right, so who are the big four? Who are the big four? All right. The big four consists of number one is Mr. Fraction. All right, may not be Mr. lah, right? But just fraction. All right, fraction followed by ratio. Followed by decimal. And last but not least is percentage. So these are the big four. All right, and within these big four, as I say, all right, once you know the conversion, right, you can actually rule the questions. You can actually answer your word problems with more confidence. All right, so sometimes the question gives you as a percentage. What can you do? You can easily change back to a fraction. Oh, fraction, I'm very good. So you can work with fraction. Or maybe you say that, decimal, I cannot do. Never mind, change it to ratio. With ratio, I can what? With ratio, I'm able to compare. So you can do the ratio way of the question, something like that. All right, so once you can find out the connection between the four of them, right, you can actually rule the question, right? You can actually do very well in the questions. All right, so be flexible, right? Be flexible in terms of how you present all this information. Okay, come. So usually, right, all right, I will have four fractions that I want you to remember, or maybe for you to understand. All right, these are the four. So usually, right, the question gives you things like 5/20. All right, or they might use something called 10/40. Sure, what must you do? Yes, you must automatically reduce to the what? Simplest term. And when you reduce to the simplest term, right, it gives you a what? 1/4. So this 1/4 is something which is very popular. Your teacher always use it. All right. So remember, always present your answer to the simplest form. And what is this 5/20 and 10/40? These are actually what you call equivalent fraction. All right, equivalent fraction. All right, so it's good to know what all these are. All right, so that you are able to communicate better with your school teacher or among yourself. All right, so equivalent fraction simply means that if you reduce it, right, to the simplest term, it will give you the same answer. In this case, it's like 1/4. All right, so 5/20 reduced to the simplest term, 1/4. 10/40 reduced to the simplest term, 1/4. So as you can see, right, a fraction presentation, right? A fraction presentation is what? It's from top to down, top to bottom. Can you see? Right, it's on top and below. What is a ratio? A ratio is actually a presentation from left to right. So we present it as 1:4. So what can you see? Can you see that this line, right? All right, if you compare the number and the number, can you see that this line, right? This oval, right? Actually can be represented as the is to. Can you see that? Follow the color coding. The 1 is the 1. The divide line, right? Over that line, right? It actually can be written as is to, the 2 dots. All right, and 4 is the 4. All right, so similarly, right, for ratio, right, do you know that we always reduce to the lowest term also? So for example, I have something called 4:16. And 4:16 is the same as 1:4. Why? Why? Because I do something called what? Reduce to the simplest term. Divide by 4 on the left, divide by 4 on the right. It's basically the same thing as your fraction. Can you see? All right, so you need to learn how to reduce to the simplest form. So fraction 1/4 is top and bottom. Ratio 1:4 is left and right. So it's just a different way of presenting. But are they the same thing? Yes, they are. They are the same thing. All right, they are the same thing. It's just that the presentation is different. All right, so it's just like me. All right, today I wear this t-shirt. All right, tomorrow I'm going to JB again. So maybe I wear a jacket. All right, the next day I wear a dress. Walking down Orchard Road. Oh my goodness. But all this, regardless of what I wear, it is still me. Understand or not? It's still the same person. So down here, fraction, ratio, decimal, percentage, whatever it is, all right, whatever it is, how you present it, all right, it is still the same thing if you obey by the rule. So fraction is like 1/4, ratio is like 1:4, and decimal, what do you do? All right, so for decimal, right, for example, you have 2 ways of making to a decimal. The first method is this. All right, for example, I use 1/4. All right, 1/4 as the conversion from fraction to decimal. So what do I do? 1/4, I purposely try to what? I purposely try to make the denominator into a 10, 100, or a 1000. All right, so in this case, I purposely times the what? 25. When I purposely times 25, right, what do I get? All right, I get the denominator as 100. Yes, that is what I want. All right, I get the denominator as 100. That is what I want. All right, why do I need that? Later, I'll show you. And 1 times 25 is 25. All right, so 25 over 100, right? 25 over 100, right? In English, 25 over 100 in English, we call it what? We call it 25 hundredths. Do you know that? HUNDREDTHS. All right, we call it 25 hundredths TH. Remember this? All right, so this is something called like the place value and all this. All right, you must know how to call it. So 25 hundredths. So the TH, right? The TH actually means divide, the divide part. All right, the TH actually means the divide part. All right, so green color, it means the divide. So it simply means what? It simply means 25 divide by 100. And do you know how to move the decimal? All right, do you know how to move the decimal? I hope so. I hope so. All right, so when you talk about division, right, it's talking about the movement of the decimal to the left. How many zero? There are 2 0. Where is the decimal in the first place? The decimal is behind the 5 in the first place. So you're supposed to move to the left by 2 movement. 1 movement, 2 movement. All right, and your new answer will be here. Your new decimal will be here. So the answer will be 0.25. The answer will be 0.25. We write it as 0.25. All right, I believe your school teacher have taught you about this moving decimal thing, which is very useful. All right, it only works for 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 with a lot of zero and all this. Hello, Ayuni? Is that you? All right, welcome to lesson.
Yes, it's
Sorry, it's City, is it? Oh, okay, sorry, what did you say just now? It's what? Okay, never mind. All right, so if you have something to say, you can actually go to the chat. All right, I'm able to see the chat with you guys. All right, if you want to voice out also can, no problem. Can. All right. So moving forward, right? Moving forward. Right, I just trying to explain to you. I just trying to explain to you that fraction, ratio, decimal, they are all connected. All right, but you need to learn how to present them. All right. So 1/4, 1/4 as a decimal is written as 0.25. Right, that is something which is very, very useful because your teacher keep asking the same thing, right? Right, your teacher, they are not creative at all. So they always ask for the same percentage or same fraction or same decimal. Hey, teacher, is there another way to convert the fraction to a decimal? Yes, there is. Remember I tell you about this? So it's like 1/4, right? 1/4. What does the over means? What does this over means? This actually means what? This actually means divide. Do you know that? It actually means divide. So you can actually present it as what? You can actually present it as 1 divided by 4. All right. So I believe your school teacher already taught you that also. This is a P5 topic, but sometimes you forget what to do. Right? It's very common that you forget one for this type of question. It's very irritating. All right. So divide actually means the over. All right. You will be asking yourself. All right. You'll be asking yourself, sure. Do I put a 4 in front? All right. Do I put a 4 here? All right. Or do I put a 4 here? Is it here or here? Many of you get confused. So I'm now telling you something. I'm now telling you something to remember this. In front is inside. In front is inside. Remember that for me. In front means what? The 1 is in front of the 4, what? Right? The 1 is in front of the 4. So the 1, right, is in front, it is inside. All right? In front is inside. So the 1 is here. That's how I remember, just to let you know. And the 4 is out here. Okay, so now you have to go through the procedure. What's the procedure? Come. 4 times what equal to 1? 4 times 0. The 0 must write. 4 times 0 is 0. All right, 4 times 0 is 0. All right. So what is 1 minus 0? 1 minus 0 will give you the 1. Okay. Now you can bring out the buffet of what? Buffet of zeros after the decimal point. So you bring out the decimal point here. All right, you bring out the decimal point here. Once you bring out the decimal point here, you can put a dot on top also. And you can put the extra 0 here.